You know, most people aren't really skilling it. So I think if Alliance, if they can play fast-paced, if they don't get smashed in their lanes, they do have a good way to fight back. Because
Shadow Fiend. Yeah. So picked it into a losing lane, but they assessed that it was still worth it for its overall potential impact on the game, and they did end up winning that game, obviously. Limp in a similar situation here. Lena's a tough matchup. You're not going to win this lane ever if the players are equally matched. And I think Carl against Limp is a pretty fair lane matchup overall in terms of just raw lane mechanical skill. So I would imagine Carl will be pulling ahead here.
Yep, I mean, relatively even to start things out, but of course it is early, like you said. They're going to get each respective water rune. Nico Baby this time around will be playing the Morphling in this bot lane, and we can talk a bit about Dawnbreaker, who gets canceled there. FNG, Shockwave brings him back in, and Zephyr secures the first blood with that last right click.
When you're playing these squishy fives,
Especially you.
Yeah. I guess. I don't know what that was supposed to mean.
Because you have no interest. That was the joke. Zephyr makes his way to the top lane. Wraith Fire Blast into the Starbreaker. But Burrow Strike is there in time for S4. But he's going to take so much damage from that hammer.
I think one saving grace for Alliance here against the Dawnbreaker ult, like we talked about. Yeah, no hero on Alliance that really suffers against that 60% evasion. Morphling a lot of the time can, you know, go for more of a magic-based build with the E-Blade. And I think waveform, attack talent, and all this stuff that comes way later in the game, I think can't miss, if I'm not mistaken. I'm actually not 100% on that. Good waveform bottom. Aggressive play onto Cuckoo.
Looks like Cuckoo might take a tumble here. Has his skewer available, but is just completely stun locked by Alliance, who get their first kill of the game and this series.
Yeah, they can easily take advantage of that. With the Dawnbreaker rotation top, they know they're too.
He enters that jungle semi-full-time, if that's even a word. We'll just go with
full-time. That's called part-time.
Part-time job as S4 gets the Burrow Strike off. Whitemon taking some damage, but the Cookie ends up saving S4 for about 2 seconds, but Zephyr is there to clean up yet again. Seems to be everywhere, and he doesn't even have his ult yet.
He has a lot of freedom to move. Cuckoo's doing such a good job playing alone down here. He's almost level 6, so you don't even feel bad about this if you're Zephyr. Might even end up killing Hanskin here if Limp doesn't come over to help.
He's going for it. Limp
has the hammer.
And not going to pursue any further. Cuckoo getting some mana drained here. Has to skewer out the safety. That means he's completely depleted.
That's right. We need wards, so...
That's true.
He did have a ward.
That is the play. Earth Spike into the waveform. Cuckoo looks to be done again. So 2 kills in this lane for Alliance. Nico Baby and company starting to get back into this game, which, I mean, it's not like it's out of reach by any means, but T1 definitely off to a slightly better start right now.
And Nico claiming that is very, very... And while kills are nice, if you don't soak up any lane space, you don't progress, right? So I think now that Zephyr is showing mid, he might even sit here all the way until level 6, because Bane will need the tome in this game. So might just park him here.
Never refuse.
As you pointed out, top lane is also an option. You could just put the Dawnbreaker in the safe lane, put Wraith King into the jungle. But this way you might get... You're definitely going to get more gold on Wraith King if you let him take the lane and the big camp. But S4 making sure that is not the case here. Digging that up with a bounty, getting a bounty rune out of his good old shot.
The dust from Whitemon, but a quick Burrow Strike. There's the stun from Zephyr. And S4 looks to be mega dead here. Actually does a nice job of sidestepping the Starbreaker, but it just delays the inevitable here.
And keep in mind, this is a Sand King with teams, because of the anticipation that the opposite team are going to invade your triangle. You just don't focus on it that much early unless you feel like you can clearly defend it. Then you just don't
the next level thinking, essentially.
Then you
Nightmare,
can't steal
LSA, here comes the Solar Guardian as well, but S4 able to get the Burrow Strike off in time to at least create a little bit of distance, but again, completely outnumbered with 4 members of T1 in the vicinity.
He is now 0-4. It was what first put a point in the ultimate. They will find Carl. That would be a very big pick.
Yeah, this would be a huge one. It looks like it's going to be an easy one on top of that. FNG gets his first finger stack of the game. And now some pressure being applied to this tier 1 mid in favor of Alliance.
Great move here. They do that in connection with the Siege Creep being alive mid. And FNG is going to tank this at least for a bit. Okay, Mortimer kisses.
Searing Chains with the Mortimer's kisses. Look, it's from super long range. Great anticipation as well. Alliance.
Very
tier 1
nice
as well.
Alliance, getting the mid tower out of that original smoke move off, getting some sort of a build-up item. Like sometimes you get Yasha, sometimes you get a full Manta, sometimes you see the Diffusal if it's a good game for that.
Super good Scotty game against E-Blade, Dawnbreaker, and the likes as Bane's going to be taken out. FNG though, Savage. 3 shots from him.
I love Armlet on Wraith King. It is such a good item. Whether, like, whatever you go after, if it's the Silver Edge build or the Death
Savage.
Someone's in trouble.
Hanskin in the trees. If they can get Limp, that'll be the high priority target. Looks like it'll be Hanskin instead. The rest of his team abandons him, but with good reason.
Alliance dipping there with one death is very good. Considering what angle T1 got there and how Alliance's heroes were positioned, that could have gone way worse if 23 Savage could have found a higher priority target.
The question is, does T1 actually want to push this? Because S4 looks to be mounting some sort of a defense. S4 not too far away from a Blink Dagger himself. This wave will almost ensure that he picks that up, in fact.
What he just said, the point he's making is it's a global ability, okay? That was the point of the Haunt. It has nothing else in common with that ability.
I really appreciate that.
It is global.
Kuko, he's going to skewer as a fish. Will be out as a result. S4 has the Burrow Strike to cancel the TP, and Hanskin and company should be able to clean up Bane pretty easily.
Yeah.
It actually reminds me,
their mid-tower, though.
The extension was updated today with a bunch of new features, one of which was the
Alliance, what do they have coming up? So Morph is going to get the Scotty.
skewer back from Kuku.
Oh, he's dead.
Kill. Continue your thought, please.
Yep, so Scotty coming up on Morph. Ember is going Kaya Sanj with Brown Boots. Not sure how good that's going to be in this game for Limp, but away from a Blink, as a matter of fact. So maybe he can get that too. As 5 Lion, that's not a bad timing.
No.
Around 18 minutes, pretty good.
Now it looks like T1 will finally get this tier 1 bot. And
Nico Baby.
Oh, and LSA is going to connect. There's a Fiend's Grip from afar as well. Laguna Blade finishes off Nico Baby. Hanskin trying to take out the tower, but it's very healthy.
For lack of a better word, that seemed a bit naive, almost. It's obvious.
And we're going to have a smoke from Alliance. We'll see if they find a kill here. Sleight is going to dodge some spells from Carl.
Oh my
23
God.
Savage jumps in, and it's going to be a very quick kill on the Hanskin. In the meantime, Epicenter goes up, but there's the RP to counter it. And T1 taking 3 kills for themselves and taking basically no damage in this engagement.
Yeah, 23 Savage almost one-shot a Snapfire with Medallion.
Double damage as well.
They even find Nico,
Nightmare.
baby.
Let's get off the attribute shift, though. Wow. Yeah, double damage still there for 23 Savage, and into the Roach Pit they go. T1 starting to run away with things.
Yeah, this is starting to get really ugly. They're just flat out outclassing Alliance right now. These last 5 minutes have not been pretty. They kind of equalized the early game Alliance did after having a tough lane mid, but haven't really been able to find much momentum from Limp on the Ember Spirit. And the games we've seen Ember win in this tournament have largely been off. You know, you get out of lane, either you do very well or you at least stay afloat, and then at this level. And T1, they're doing a great job at administering their heroes, bringing them all around together, finding the team moves. And, I mean, it's easy to say what Alliance have to do. It's a lot harder to do it.
Yeah, as you can see, the win probability greatly in favor of T1 as expected after getting off to this really, really fast start.
Yep. Gabe Newell's favorite hero used to be Sand King, as we've talked about before.
That is true. That's the 6%.
He moved on from it, right?
Oh, okay. 23 Savage. Yep, easy kill for him again. All right, that is a big kill for Alliance onto Carl. That's exactly what they need here. Unfortunately for them, 23 Savage still applying pressure to the tier 2 mid.
Yeah, it's gone.
And it's just...
Will be spotted up by S4. Well, who found who, actually?
Yeah, that's a good question. FNG jumps in. Comes a Solar Guardian, though. And just like that, T1 is here in numbers. FNG sacrificing himself to the gods here as S4 gets horn tossed and likely will be brought down next. So 2 quick kills for T1. And Alliance attempting to get out of dodge, but Hanskin going to get spotted out. 23 Savage. Yeah, his arm length is apparently goes through Fog of War.
All right, here's my trivia. If you know this, no mistake there. Playing the sad trombone is very appropriate there.
Yep. Oh, we got the horn toss with the skewer into the RP. S4 is going to be the first to fall in all likelihood. Nico Baby staying alive at half. We'll get up to safety. So just 1 kill with that RP, but Carl Pasta BKB gets the LSA with a buyback onto S4 now. Starbreaker connect. Here comes a Solar Guardian as well. Nico Baby very tanky right now with that Lincoln Sphere. Nice Burrow Strike Epicenter combination from S4. Zephyr trying to get to safety with that hammer, but it's not going to happen. So the 1-for-1 with the buyback. Carl and company. Looks like they're going to lose the Dawn Break at the very least. S4 continuing to be a pest here with these Burrow Strikes. Gets 1 kill. Looks like Wraith King is next. That's after the reincarnation, so T1 have to back off.
That's a very
nice
good
defense
hold
from Alliance.
Yeah, they only had to use a Sand King,
Not
so
only
doing tons of damage here.
Morphling tanky, but it's not really doing that much damage. It's not like he went the E-Blade build or anything like that, so you can just go for the other kills.
And now
first in
Nico
these
has the
fights.
item I like to see. He's got the Ags. So
Yeah.
now he can turn into Sand King, and that's big. This gives them a double Burrow Strike combination play. He needs to be careful. He's taking so much damage from
He
Carl.
is, but looks like he's fine for now. He's Limp creating a lot of
Oh.
space here, but the Laguna Blade, S4, a little bit too far this time.
And he doesn't have buyback, and T1 obviously know this. They just bought back in the enemy base, so this does open up a potential push down mid
And that
play for them.
actually is pretty big because Morphling can't turn into Sand
Carl
King now.
found Limp with
Yep.
the blink stun.
The Centaur
Nope.
stop not going
There's
to be
no
there in time.
remnants.
Limp. BKB attempting to TP, but the RP cancel. Down he goes. Does have buyback though. Still a minute 20 left on the Aegis for T1, but best case scenario for.
Absolute artillery. That's not really the right word. Machine gun was what I was looking for. Going
A
straight in front
trebuchet,
of the
Cinder,
net.
and your favorite. Carl,
Good.
Laguna Blade, down goes Snapfire. They're trying to preserve the buyback. Nope, not anymore. That's two right off the bat here. And you can see S4 will be back in 10 seconds, but it's going to be 2 full sets of racks for T1.
Yeah, and they might back off here and wait for the next RP. You don't have to risk any push here in order to finish the game. If you wait 50 seconds, you might...
One. And definitely playing a little bit disciplined.
Horn toss.
Yep, Horn toss is there, and S4 is dead. 60 seconds on the deck.
That skewer range
No
time
buyback.
is so absurd. Like, you're expecting that skewer to stop any second now, and it just keeps going.
Yeah. I mean, this feels like, I mean, you talk about Elder Titan. I feel like Magnus feels like the hero of the tournament right now in a lot of ways.
He is doing very
Getting
well.
through a lot as you see the overwhelming blink come in. We didn't even catch that on camera, but a lot of damage being done by T1. And it looks like the Fiend's grip is there as GG's will come out for game 1. This was a shellacking, Cinderin. And T1 up 1-0.
As no need to sugarcoat it, really. That was just... That was not even close.
Okay.
That was just not even close.
They have tons of disables. If they do catch one of these heroes, they can probably kill them, but it's going to be really hard against Tide and Dusa because they have so much survivability as well as Kraken shells. So there's good stuff about them. They got to split up Alliance and kill them.
You have just this fat tanky hero that you can just get stacks off of.
Yeah.
As Cuckoo. And it looks like FNG is going to take a tumble here. So first blood goes the way of T1 with the Enchant Totem. And actually the thing I have to hold that thought. Double Impale coming out from Whitemon again. S4 gets hexed, and there's the pounce. It does connect. Popping the wand, keeping alive a little bit longer, but 23 Savage. Well, actually it wasn't him. Whitemon somehow stole the kill from his position
I don't like
slot.
that narrative, Shannon. It's not a steal.
He stole it.
It's not a steal when the support gets a kill. It's good. He
Has 2 levels of Leech Seed, so can do even better trading. So they're able to potentially find a kill there. FNG, obviously one of the slowest heroes in the game, is Nico Baby. Not a whole lot of mana to speak of. A nice
Oh, that's a
fissure.
good fissure,
Nico
yeah.
Baby forced to go up top. Enchant Totem is there, but don't think they'll get the kill. But he's going to take heavy, heavy damage as a result of this. In fact, Zephyr might be the one in trouble.
Okay.
They're just going to turn it around. So Alliance getting their first kill of the game.
That looked good for T1 because the Fissure and Nature's Grasp were lined up so nicely, and there was no path for Nico Baby to take. It's just tanky enough, and obviously a little bit clunky with these 2 melee heroes walking in together, end up blocking each other, can't really connect onto Nico Baby, and obviously the Crystal Maiden as well, doing a lot of work. Now FNG, however, is out of mana, and he does not have the aura yet, so he's going to send out 2 Mangoes as well as a Sage's Mask. So for a little bit of time, he will have some downtime here, but doesn't really matter. Cuckoo's just free farming close to his tower anyway, and I don't think FNG could have done that much about it. So
Yeah, you can see in terms of CS, Carl just slightly ahead of Limp right now as he's going to get the slide at Fist. Here comes Zephyr from the side. Gets off the Nature's Grasp, going to slow a bit with that Leech Seed as well. Limp in quite a bit of trouble. Pops a Fairy Fire. TP support coming.
He's dead.
Zephyr. Yeah, the last slide of Fist, and now FNG might be in some trouble.
He's dead.
Double Remnant. Zephyr will be able to get up a couple right clicks along with the Leech Seed again coming online. So double kill for Carl to start this game. T1 doing very well. I was gonna, man, it's a good thing I didn't say it because that would be a caster's curse, but for the mid lane, Limp definitely off to a better start until that point.
yeah. And now Carl is going to pull significantly ahead. He's level 6.5 against Limp's 5.75. I think Carl's net worth has to be up by a few hundred. 800 or 700, pardon me.
Yeah, Limp trying to get some retribution here onto Carl.
Oh, he does
able to get the
DD.
stun. Yeah, Carl needs to back up despite Whitemon being here. Well, never mind, Zephyr's on the high ground as well. It's a 3v1.
Oh, if Limp dies here, this is
he gets
so...
hexed as well. T1 looking for another kill on the mid laner for Alliance.
Okay.
Ogi gets off. Ogi's going to mitigate a little bit of damage there, turning it around. Just gets 2 kills before dying. At least get something out of it this time, Cinderman.
Talk about value Resonant Pulse. They thought they had the kill. You saw Carl already backing off. He was like, all right, Trey on the line, you just hit him once each, he's gonna die. He gets that damage block through that 2-hero Resonant Pulse connection, and then he gets level 6 from the first kill, so he can jump on the second kill as well. So a nice heads-up play there from Limp to get something out of that. Because that looked like he was just completely doing bottom lane.
Absolutely.
23 Savage and Whitemon connecting on S4.
He's playing on the edge here, S4. Get a lot of stacks for 23 Savage now. Whitemon with Zephyr's company should be able to take S4 out. Gets off the gush, but won't be enough to find his way to get the kill on 23 Savage. Halfway to level 6, and once he gets to that point, it's going to be extremely hard to kill this Slurk.
You know, dying as an offlaner with a creep wave like that, you're just so sad. Like 23 Savage just denied 4 creeps. And then, okay, if you want to let that through, that's fine, but you also picked a carry that Slark loves facing, so you made his game even more enjoyable. And it's always important. Okay, hang on, Hanskin.
Whitemon's going to be there. Being able to clean him up pretty easily. A little bit late to the party is Limp. He gets a haster at the very least.
It's always important when you look at the draft and you look at how the lineups turn out and you're like, man, this hero's counterpicked by 3 picks.
To be fair, it's gotten a lot better for the course of the last few years because everybody's getting farmed now. Yep, we have the Hex to start things out from Whitemon. This might be another death, but Cookie keeps him alive a little bit longer, but not long enough. FNG not able to save his mid laner. Limp now with his 3rd death of the game. And like I said, in terms of the 1v1, he was doing great, but since these ganks have been coming, just feels like non-stop from T1. He's just been dying left and right.
And in a few minutes, T1 is going to be running at you and pressuring you, and you're not going to get that area for free, so...
T1 getting credit for another kill. I mean, speaking of Ancients, there is a stack for Medusa to eventually take, but you can see that there's a somewhat aggressive ward also placed in that area for T1, so when that is being taken, they'll probably try to contest. 23 Savage. Gonna get some trade-off here.
Let's dive here. This is dangerous, though. Yeah, he's going to think twice
especially
about
with 23 Savage having his ult, so a lot of passive regen now. Carl gets off the Searing Chains. S4 is going to apply the Ravage. Will it save his life? Negatory. Sleight of Fish finishes him off, but Limp and company might be able to get some beautiful trades here. Carl does one more Sleight of Fish, but dies shortly after. In the meantime, 23 Savage destroys Crystal Maiden despite getting that freezing field out for about a half a second. Hanskin looks to be next on the menu, but he does get Cookie off in time. 23 Savage, okay, we have the Mortimer's Kisses from afar, but they're going to go for the Limp kill. They'll get it successfully. It'll cost him his life. But he does get the stack at the very least of Essence Shift. Nico Baby all alone in the mid.
T1, dagger on Shaker. They want to jump Limp.
Oh, Pounce not able to connect for 23 Savage. Cuckoo, like you said, Blink Dagger's there. It gets the Enchant Totem off. And Limp Astral steps to safety. Does that have any more stacks, though? Another 6 seconds before it comes off cooldown. Mortimer gets this from afar.
Very good kiss.
Close, actually, onto 3 heroes. T1 taking so much damage, but the Echo Slam is expended to at least get 23 Savage. It's going to be a trade for 3, though. Triple kill for Hanskin with a god tier Mortimer's Kisses.
Oh my god, can you imagine damage breakdown on that one? 3k damage.
Not bad.
Worth happen in this game, but there's only one hero that has those, and that's Pudge, and that's probably going to stay that way.
It's too bad. This is one of the best Mortimer's Kisses we've seen this tournament for sure. Getting really big value out of that. Zephyr, Cookie connects on top of him. He's going to be taken out very quickly. Never mind. Gets the overgrowth off. They got a little bit too confident. Finally gets taken out, though, but the TPs are here from T1 trying to turn this around. Limp takes a tumble. 3 dead so quickly in favor of T1. Hanskin will get hexed as well.
Limp didn't finish the kill. He had the...
I mean, would that have made a difference, you think?
He thought the Trend was dying, so he saw the Solar Crest being used, and that means Hanskin has no defensive capability from that. No plus armor.
Will just Cookie himself to the high ground, though. And we see the Stone Gaze going up with a nice fissure blocking him off. Cuckoo, in the meantime, looks like that's going to be the sacrifice. Fissures and dies. So not the setup that T1 was looking for. A good defense from Alliance.
To what players are thinking when they ping heroes like this. He just pinged Snapfire Medusa.
Looks like Zephyr is going to die. Gets off the overgrowth, but 100 seconds of none of that for him. Okay, please, I was gonna say I don't want to jinx it anymore. So I'm very hesitant now. That took quite a while, which maybe not so good a sign for Alliance, but they're not too far behind right now, so definitely can find an avenue back where you've convinced yourself after talking. It's good to see.
Yeah, it's
very open mind. You're able to convince yourself of something else if you want. Oh, looks like Crystal Maiden is done. FNG trying to get the D ward.
That is how
wards
all
shall
machine
remain.
learning works, by the way. I train against myself and come to a conclusion.
Yeah,
So
that is quite that's shockingly accurate and disturbingly accurate, in fact. Nico, elimination here in game number 2 of this best of 3. S4 trying to TP out, but the pounce will cancel. Whitemon in
Emphasis on
Infinity
trying.
as well. Doesn't
S4
have
trying to run.
Yeah, he's
S4
attempting
trying to
it.
move.
He's not going to move.
S4
Another
trying to
sack
cast
for
the spell.
Whitemon.
Sometimes
Thank you for the commentary, Synderin, as always.
S4 trying to respawn.
Oh, that's true. Fake grenade on Earthshaker, pretty disgusting. S4 trying to tank things up as the initiation comes. Carl, let's see the BKB picked up, or popped by 23 Savage, going to town on S4 in the meantime. You can see Ember Spirit creating so much space on the back line. Nico Baby forced his ult out. Now Hanskin not quite going to die here. It's nice taunt onto Carl, but there's the double kill with the sleight of fist. He's taking a lot of damage, though. Can he get out in time? It's 23 Savage just focusing on Nico Baby. There's the overgrowth to keep them in place. There's so many stacks now, but finally the Ravage comes out onto S4, but it's not going to matter, Synderin. This is going to be a full team wipe for T1, and they barely took any damage.
It's such a godly fight from Carl. He just does everything right. See, the fight breaks out. Kill. That doesn't make sense. Outlast was the wrong word. Okay,
Makes a lot of sense. Nico Baby. He gets off his ult. They're just going to try to withstand it. FNG and company have come to help out as well. Slider Fist doing so much damage. FNG again dead. No big surprise. There's the Searing Chains now. Nico Baby trying to stay alive, but it looks like the right clicks will come through. 23 Savage getting that one with the BKB activated, and they're not done yet. Looks like Hansking is next on the list as S4 and Alliance are starting to crumble here, Synderin. T1 looking primed to take this series 2-0. They lose one. It's only Cuckoo. I mean, again, this is hindsight, but burst damage against Slurk would be very nice in a scenario.
Oh, here we go.
Yep. Jump in from Carl. Looks like FNG is just going to die. No, actually lives with barely any HP, and then finally gets taken out first as Carl will go back to safety. 23 Savage on the back line now, trying to target Limp. You see the fissure come out as well. BKB dodging the Ravage as a result. Limp is going to stay alive though. Mortimer skits this from afar. Cuckoo taking the brunt of the damage here. Looks like he's going to drop the first to fall for T1, but 23 Savage looks perfectly healthy for now. Pops his ult.
He still has
Gets one
Aegis,
kill.
too.
Nico Baby very low on mana, which means he is very susceptible to die here, Synderin. 22 Savage resetting, going back in, buyback. You see the mana drain coming from Whitemon as well. Nico Baby pops the wand, but to little avail. Zephyr does get off his ult, but the finger of death taking Nico Baby out in spades. No buyback for him. You see a nice freezing field come out, but it's going to result in the kill of Carl. In the meantime, beautiful hail at the 2. S4 on the run. Trying to get back into this base. Is 23 Savage not scared of anything because that Aegis is still intact.
That was maybe a little bit too cute there from Savage, but he's obviously able to reset out of here. Guess how long would he have had on that Aegis? That was still a good 2 minutes left on that. It was maybe a little bit unnecessary, but
2 for 2 with the. I mean, that was a pretty long fight, and only 2 died for Alliance. You got to be happy with that.
it up here for Alliance. It could work.
Savage.
Okay, instantly breaking the smoke.
Yeah, shot.
Oh,
Nice. Got the ensnare coming out as well. BKB, there's the Echo Slam onto 2. Limp already dead in this engagement. 2 dead for Alliance to start this fight out. Nico Baby getting mana drain for a little bit of time here. It's 23 Savage. Now just focusing on Nico Baby along with Cuckoo getting the stuns out. We'll see how that status resist works from this time. But the mana drain from that diffusal and the Essention stacks are just getting out of control for T1. They only lose their support Lion and get 4 kills as the trade.
Like it's their only chance, and I agree with this 100%.
Smoke up as well. And
They're
Santora
gonna-
gets popped. The Ember Spirit on the backline again. Ravage comes out from S4. 23 Savage does take considerable damage, but again, FNG dies at the beginning of the fight. Carl, look at how much space he's creating. Just absolutely decimates Hanskin with just his remnants. Whitemon jumps in with the finger of death. 3 dead for Alliance, and they are likely out of TI10 after this fight. Medusa takes a tumble. Triple kill for Carl. And S4 finally goes down. He's the only remaining member for Alliance with buyback. They call GG, and T1 moves on. Synderin, Alliance out.
Yeah, there's just no doubt about it after watching these 2 games. T1 just clearly the better team at this event. Alliance got completely rolled.